to speak in Templar without understanding the meaning of what we normally call the Crusades. It is common, and it is not wrong, to learn at school that the Crusades were a series of military expeditions undertaken by European Christians, whose goal would be to expel the infidels, Muslims, from the Holy Land, from Palestine. Although the definition is not wrong, it ends up simplifying, treating superficially a much more complex phenomenon. I think more important than knowing the events and military expeditions would be to understand the Crusader spirit, the mentality that produced and justified these events. Although the definition is not wrong, it ends up simplifying, treating superficially a much more complex phenomenon. I think more important than knowing the events and military expeditions would be to understand the Crusader spirit, the mentality that produced and justified these events. The convocation made by Pope Urban II, in 1096, is, in a way, the result both of the internal social and political conditions of Western Europe, as well as the conflictive coexistence between Christians and Muslims. But where would the Templars enter, Professor R. Rao? The Order of the Templars, also known as the Order of the Temple, was organized to help the Crusaders maintain the dominion of Palestine after the conquest of the territory. At the beginning of the 12th century, more precisely in the year 1128, during the Council of Troyes, Hugo Pens and Gouffre de Saint-Romé founded the order. The Templars come from a monastic base. After all, their own founders made vows of poverty and obedience, in addition to vows of chastity. You must be wondering, but Professor, the battles were activities allowed to the monks. The great innovation of the Templars was precisely that, because the war activity was forbidden to members of other monastic orders. It was during the reign of Baldwin II that the Mosque of Rochedo, an object of intense disputes between Jews and Arabs to this day, was donated to the Templars to build there a kind of convent. It seems that the Crusader spirit was already part of the imaginary of much of the European Christians. In this sense, the Templar bellicose activity, in some way, catalyzed the desire of association of religious life with military activity. In a stamentary society, in which the functions are well defined, that is, there are those who work, those who pray and those who fight, in the order would be servants, clerics and nobles, the Templars symbolized a new possibility, that is, the association between spiritual life and military life. It is not by chance that the order goes through a great growth. For almost 200 years, a period of 8 crusades, the order becomes the owner of lands and profits financing military operations in several territories, not restricting itself to Palestine. From inheritance and donations, the Templars concentrate, in a short time, a capital that is not despicable. The accumulation of values allows the Order of the Temple to diversify its activity, developing a kind of banking system, based on credit cards. A pilgrim who was on a trip could travel without carrying money, simply carrying a document that would verify the deposit made in the temple church. Arriving in a city in which the Templars were settled, he could withdraw the deposited value. In addition to military activities, the Templars began to help nobles and kings in financial difficulties. The main military activity of the Templars, in fact, the reason for its foundation, which was to help in the maintenance of the conquests of the Crusaders in Palestine, ceases to exist from 1291, the year in which Christians definitively lose the holy city of Jerusalem. It was in this context that, for political and financial reasons, the opposition to the order grew. The main political adversary of the Templars was the French king, Philip IV. Trying to support the religious, his intention to end the Templars, the French king tries to convince Pope Clement V to dissolve the order. The exchange of correspondence between the two is prolonged, mainly in relation to the competence to judge the order. Philip IV issues an order of imprisonment against the Templar knights and orders to confiscate their goods. In 1312, after strong political pressure from the French king, Pope Clement V extinguished the order. Jacques de Molay was the last Grand Master of the Templars. After being judged by Pope Clement V and condemned, he was executed in the bonfire on the orders of Philip IV. Legend has it that, in his last moments, Molay would have cast a plague against his 2 algoses, the King Philip. Legend has it that, in his last moments, Molay would have cast a plague against his 2 algoses, the King Philip IV and Pope Clement V. The plague would be a convocation for the two to appear in 1 year before the celestial tribunal. This is the legend. The fact is that the two died in the same year. We stay here. If you like this video, make a comment, like it, share it on your social networks. Oh, and if you are not subscribed, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell. Okay guys, a big hug.